Hello everyone and welcome to the very first devlog of the game Thanks Bill. And I will show you what me and another friend have done so far in the first week. Bear in mind that I'm recording this on Wednesday, 3rd of August, and we have started essentially last Saturday or Sunday, basically, so 3 days at best of development, and most of the things were more conceptual or basically how to fine-tune the game, but it has a general principle that I will explain soon. So first, here we have our main protagonist, and I've done some essential sprites for his actions in regarding platforming and a few ones regarding combat per se. So this one is his idle state. So many of them are mirror versions for, of course, when you're left or right, since it's a 2D. The shooting one, which should release a particle, being the bullet when after we program it. The just facing left or right, idling. The attack, like a basic melee attack, should be the kick. This one is a little weird, but it is supposed to be the jumping left or right, like a little Mario thing. And this is like the idle jumping, which looks weird too. And this one should be like preparing to jump, this one being like going up and the other going down. But this needs to be revised and properly tested when we do more code, since again just these 3 days were mostly concept and I was with my spare time doing those sprites. Moving on to the monsters. So far 5, and as you can see they have varying degrees of height and complexity. This is because there are 5 monsters and they have 3 versions, one more powerful than the other, like in the progression. And here I'll explain the main mechanic of the game. So I will focus on doing a game in which you have pills that you can take that they will reduce your insanity or like keep your mind more stable. And when you do that, the enemies become weaker because they're like a magical manifestation of your insanity. Therefore, you're fighting a kind of a very like a magical hallucination, because it can interfere with you, it can kill you. And the plot, should I say, will be revealed further. But so far it's very scratch, and these should be the enemies for now. And well, you would have these pills, and of course you could choose not to take them, not to swallow them, and your game would be harder and you could risk your chance of death. So basically the main point of the game is like a fight against time, because as time passes you become more insane, and the more closer you reach to a turning point where the enemies just morph into their stronger versions. And the third and last one should be pretty hard to tackle on if you're not like a god in the game. And moving to what I have done in regard to the map, is a tile map, and you see it looks strange, but if we had a 16 by 16 pixels grid, you would see, let me kind of do it here, you would see that each of these is a tile map in itself. So yeah, about this in size, in this case the corner, and then you would have the ceiling and the other corner. You can see how with 16 pixels each of these could be a piece to mount in your map, which is what I'll finishing showing here, which is a very little thingy that I was messing around and you can basically keep keep on building whatever you would like. This would help making the level, but I still need to see some things like this red, more bright part should be like where light shines upon, like a more brighter zone. But as you can see here in this wall, it is kind of reversed. If a light source were like up here or in the middle, in this at the wall that the player is facing, so this kind of lighting doesn't make sense. So I will see if I, for now, will just ignore that and tackle on later, or if I will leave this, which I shouldn't, but I'm focusing on more important matters which should make a game more playable. This would be a detail, and etc. But shouldn't be hard to fix with just more different sprites, depending with more lighting or walls that or grounds that become that are adjacent to walls on tunnels and etc. But yes, so far we have basically the map, this simple map tile set, the monsters and its phases, and the basic sprites for the main protagonists. And well, for the next week we should focus more on code in order to see finally feel a pill walking on a map that I can make with this, or a more advanced version of this that I should work on, and finally interact with some of these monsters and their bigger versions before I move up to making before we move up to making the levels itself, because the main point is the platform is going from one side to the other. Who would have guessed? But with this additional pressure, that monsters will become stronger, and not only that, but the environment will have hazards that update in order to this level of insanity that you have.